Howdy folks, I'm Darren. Welcome to Cross Timbers Outside. Beautiful day, let's go fishing. And we finally made it onto the water. Today we're going to start out doing a little bit of vertical jigging. My favorite vertical jigging rod is a Berkley lightning rod, ultra light action. Limber as a dish rag because the bite is going to be soft. It's an 8-foot 2-piece ultra light, and I'm using a PC Fun Viper X 2000 reel spooled with vicious high vis 4-pound line. On the business end of our line, we're going to start out, we're always changing, we're going to start out with a 1/16 ounce jig head tied on a loop knot with a salt and pepper crappie magnet bait. And we're going to vertical jig on some brush, and then a little bit later we're going to maybe do some dock shooting and some casting to maybe locate some fish on docks or some fish transitioning. Vertical jigging's not my favorite, but based on the time of day it is right now, it's about noon, and noon is one of the worst times for the bite usually, especially when you got a bluebird day like today and the sun's out really good on the water. That's why I think maybe in a little bit dock fishing might be the thing to do. But for today, for now, we're going to do a little bit of vertical jigging. I think based on the conditions, the sunlight and the water temperature and how these fish are starting to transition right now, they're going to be sort of semi-inactive. I hope that maybe they're active, but I think they're going to be a little bit deeper on brush right now. And a little while later, we may try to do some dock shooting and some casting. But for maybe the next hour, we're probably going to do some vertical jigging. I think that's the technique to use at this point right now to catch some fish. To be up front, I've already caught 3. So I know they're there, stacked on some brush. I wanted just to test the waters before I started the filming and using up batteries and card space and all that stuff. So let's ease up here to this brush and see what we can find. The lake's a little busier today. There's a little more boat traffic out today. The first 3 places I went to fish, there was already fishermen there fishing. And I've not ruled out doing a little bit of trolling later today either. We're just going to have a fun day regardless. The last 2 or 3 trips we've had out has been slow as far as catching any sizable fish. We've caught fish, they've just been small, on the smaller side. A few moments ago I fished a little bit right up here where we're going, and I caught 3, and the biggest one was about 8 inches. So we're going to fish it just a little bit longer. By the way, we're in 26.5 feet of water, and the water temperature currently is 45 degrees. Here in the shade. It's amazing. You can get up in a cove and the temperature climbs. I think that's where we need to be, really, if we can find some transitioning fish. Vertical jigging's not my favorite way to fish, but it's many times, especially this time of year and through winter, when the fish tend to get deep, it's a very effective technique. Just like that. That's not a big fish. It's a crappie. I can tell by the head shakes, but It's not a very big one. Flip him in here. Very soft bite. Just basically feel your line go heavy. And we're not keeping any fish today. I really would like to see this lake clean out through the summer, at least in the midsummer, before I start keeping any fish out of it because of Hurricane Helene. It washed a lot of debris into this lake that some of it you really don't know where it came from and what kind of chemicals may have got washed in, things of that nature. You just never know. So in light of that, we're not keeping any fish today, and I haven't this year so far, and probably won't at least until midsummer. There we go. Crappie. It's amazing when you catch a crappie how you can feel those head shakes. This one's a pulling. He's a fighter. Okay, that's a better fish. I'm gonna try to flip him in. Well, I better get down here and get him. He's hooked good. He was not coming loose. Light colored. All right, let's let him go. This is the day the Lord hath made. My goodness. Let's rejoice. How about it? You know, we are blessed beyond measure to live in a place, in a country where we can get out and do things like this, enjoy our freedoms. If you know a veteran, don't forget to shake his hand and tell him thank you for what he has done serving our country. The fish are starting to get a little more active. And I was getting ready to go start shooting some docks, and these fish lit up, and I started catching a few better ones. It's hard to leave fish to go find fish, even though vertical jigging's not my favorite way to fish. There's some good fish right here, I think, and it's hard to fire up the motor and leave them. It really is. There's one. These fish right here's biting pretty good. Now this is a smaller one. Little bitty feller. These fish are biting right here, and I've caught not big ones, but I've caught a couple of better ones right here than I've been catching the last few days. So, like I said, it's hard to leave fish to go find fish. And these fish are getting pretty active right here. They're about 20 foot suspended off this rock bluff. I fished here the other day, and there's a lot more fish here according to my graph than they were the other day. There we go. That feels like a little better fish. Here we go, here we go. There we go. These are some smaller ones mixed in with these better ones. These are small, that one is. Boy, they're biting though. Like I said, I was planning on going and doing a little dock shooting, but it's hard to leave fish when you're catching fish. It's hard to leave them to go find more. It is for me anyway. There's another one. Adjusting your depth while you're vertical jigging is super critical. Once you found that depth where those fish are biting, keep fishing that depth. There we go. Crappie. As you'll notice, I have changed baits. Whoops, and you come off right in the boat. Nice little fish. No such thing as a bad fish. They're all good. Some just better than others. Flip him in. You can see we changed jigs to a Bobby Garland blue ice with a pink head. And there's one fish on it. Just changed to it. That was the first cast on it. And let's see what happens with that jig for a few minutes. There we go. Okay, small one. The baby. There we go. better get on my trolling motor too. We're going. Another little one. All right, we caught a couple of really nice ones, and since the nicer fish has evaded us, so we're gonna try just a few more minutes here, and if we don't catch any nicer fish, we're gonna move on. There we go. Fish is a pull. Oh, he come off. Rats. There we go. Average small little crappie on a pink 1/16 ounce head and a crappie magnet, salt and pepper. All I'm finding again today is smaller fish since earlier. Found a few good ones earlier, but since then they've been slim pickings. Miss Susan with me today. She was really wanting to come today, but other obligations kept her away from the lake with me today. Susan outfishes me usually 2 fish to 3 fish to 1. She's got a natural knack. I do believe that woman could catch a fish in a mud puddle in the middle of a Walmart parking lot. My youngest daughter's the same way. Let's see if we can get back on these fish. We drifted away while I was retying. I did break off up here. If you're fishing in the brush, if the fish are in brush, in cover, and you're fishing that brush and you're not getting hung up occasionally, you're not using the right technique. You're fishing in the wrong place around that brush. It's just part of it. Big school of fish here. I'll try to show you on the graph here in a minute just how many fish are in this school. And we do not use forward-facing sonar, live scope, active target, whatever you want to call it. To me, that's like playing a video game. And that's just opinion. I know that's a sensitive topic in the crappie fishing world, it seems anymore, but you can take a guy who has never fished in his life, a young guy, and that's up on technology and electronics and Xbox and stuff like that, and teach him basic things, and within 6 months he'll be out fishing a 20-year fisherman using that forward-facing sonar. It has taken all the skills out of fishing. Yes, we do use some sonar, but it's not active target. We use it only to locate some fish That don't mean they're gonna bite, that don't mean you can see them bite, nothing like that. You're still relying on your fishing skills. And there's one right there. That didn't take long at all. There we go. That one don't feel very big. There we go. That one's even smaller. Okay, instead of getting bigger, they're getting smaller. There we go. Boy, these fish are active. They're picking up steam. They're starting to feed. They're hungry. That's about a 6-incher, maybe 7. Sometimes when you're vertical jigging and the bite slows, change baits, change colors of baits, change bait profile size. A lot of different things can trigger more strikes. And you can catch a few more fish before you're done. There we go. There's a fish. Oh, I love those head shakes of a crappie. He's not a very big one, but nevertheless. That's number 32 for the day. If any of y'all like to hunt wild mushrooms, that's a passion of mine and Susan's. We both love it. And I love nothing better than a bunch of fried crappie fillets, just like this one, and a big pan of wild chicken of the woods mushrooms. That's a decent fish. Chicken of the woods mushrooms, filleted up in some crappie fillets. Take those chicken of the woods and cut them in strips and fry them in a cast iron skillet with some olive oil and put them on the side with your crappie fillets. Oh my, that is so good. We'll be doing some wild mushroom hunting this summer for y'all, and hopefully by midsummer we'll be able to start keeping some of these fish. My goodness, what a beautiful day this has been. It's about 4:30 in the evening, and I've got about an hour and a half drive home, maybe 2 hours, and depending on traffic. So I'm gonna fish about 30 more minutes. And when I get home, I'm gonna sit and kick myself for not going and shooting some docks for some bigger fish. But hey, I just like catching fish. Yeah, everybody likes to catch those slabs, but sometimes that's not everything. Sometimes it's just catching fish. There we go. Flip him in. That's a little better fish. Bottom lip, I don't like to catch them right there. Let's let him go. There's a fish. Tighten my drag just a little bit. Flip him in here. I think it's number 34. Small black crappie. Caught that one on a B&M, just a lead head jig with a Bobby Garland electric chicken, a 2-inch bait on it. Who names these baits? Electric chicken? I've seen them named all this funky stuff like pink rainbow and all this. I mean, is somebody smoking crack when they're naming these baits? I mean, it's ridiculous. But they catch fish, whatever they're called. Folks, thanks for being with us today here out on the lake and catching a bunch of crappie. We didn't catch any big ones, but we caught a bunch. And even if we'd have caught 0, and I've been fishing before and caught 0, even if we'd have caught nothing, what a gorgeous, beautiful day to spend in a stress-free environment, carefree, only our safety. Care about that. But as far as fishing goes, if we'd have caught 0, this day would have been fantastic because it's been beautiful weather. It's been nice temperatures. We're in the very last week of February and I am in short sleeves. You don't see this very often in February. It's just been great, and I really miss my wife being here with us today because she can show me up when it comes to fishing, and so can my younger daughter. I'd like to have her on the channel some fishing with us. And this new channel is proven to be challenging. I'm used to filming, baling hay, doing things around the farm, but doing this filming while you're fishing, when a bite can happen at any moment, at any time, if your bait's in the water, and having the camera rolling at the proper angles and all that, I have a newfound respect for you guys with successful fishing channels. This is not easy, but I am seeing really fast that I enjoy this. I've always enjoyed filming our farm channel. And if you haven't been to our farm channel, that's 8th Day Chronicles. Just do a search for that if small family farms interest you. But here on Cross Timbers Outside, this is a new venture for us and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to having Susan with me on the channel and going camping and showcasing her cooking skills over a campfire, and mushroom hunting, hiking, fishing, lots and lots more fishing. Whatever we decide hits us that day to go do out in God's great creation. I can't thank y'all enough for coming by the channel with us today as we went crappie fishing. No big ones, but a few decent fish and just a bunch of fish, which makes for a fun day. An enjoyable day. Like I said, if we'd have caught 0, it'd have been a great day. Thank you so much for being with us, and if you haven't subscribed to our new channel here at Cross Timbers Outside, I'd give you a hearty invite to do so. Just click the subscribe button and join us here in our outside family. We would really appreciate it. Thanks for being with us today. It's about time for us to head back to the ramp and head our 2-hour drive home. Thank you so much for being with us, and I pray God blesses you and your family, and I pray y'all have a fantastic day.